This is the resume that landed me interviews at Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta. But it took me 6 years to figure out how to make a great resume and maximize my chances of getting shortlisted. Today, I'm going to share everything I've learned about making resumes, and by reviewing more than 60 resumes through LinkedIn. I will walk you through each section of my own resume and provide insights into every important detail you should consider while creating your own resume. Now, before we start, it's important to understand who sees your resume and the different stages it goes through during the process. When you first submit your resume, it's likely to be scanned by application tracking systems, also called ATS. This software is used by employers to filter and rank resumes based on how well they match the job description. The ATS looks for specific keywords, skills, and other relevant information. To pass this stage, optimize your resume with relevant keywords and use a clear ATS-friendly format. After ATS, your resume is typically reviewed by HR or the recruiter. They perform an initial screening to check if you meet the basic qualifications and requirements for the role. Remember, an average recruiter scans through around 200 resumes a day and you spend just 7 seconds on each, so make those seconds count. Once your resume clears the initial HR screening, it is passed on to the hiring manager. This is usually someone who will be your direct supervisor or a key decision maker in the hiring process. Hiring managers have a deeper understanding of the role and its requirements. They assess your experience, skills, and achievements to determine if you are a good fit for the team and the specific job responsibilities. That's why you should always highlight your relevant experience, achievements, and the skills required for the role. Once your resume is cleared and you are invited for interviews, be prepared to discuss everything you have included on your resume in detail. Now, how long your resume should be? The perfect resume is just 1 page. Yes, just one, especially if you are early in your career. But if you have got more than 5 years of experience, you can go beyond 1 page. But try to limit it to a maximum of 1.5 pages. Your resume should tell a compelling story about yourself, showcasing your personality, the actions you took, and the impact you made. Here are 3 simple ways to instantly improve your resume without much effort. First, keep it clean. Use proper spacing and formatting. Choose a professional font like Arial, Calibri, or Times New Roman. Use a font size that's easy to read, typically between 10 and 12 points. Your resume shouldn't look cluttered or annoying to the people who are reviewing it, so choose a good template. Second, remove all the fluff and unnecessary information. Always keep it relevant to the job. Nobody really cares if you are skilled in Microsoft Word or won an art competition in high school. Use clear language and avoid jargons or buzzwords like rockstar, ninja, or hard worker. And third, avoid using long paragraphs and use bullet points instead. No sentence in your resume should be longer than 3 lines. And avoid having typos. Always proofread for spelling and grammatical errors. Now let's start dissecting my own resume. Begin your resume by placing your full name in a big and bold font, followed by your phone number and email address. It is not necessary to include your photo in your resume. Add link to your LinkedIn profile. If you do not have a LinkedIn profile, create one. Resumes are typically concise, while your LinkedIn profile can provide a more comprehensive view of your work history, projects, and accomplishments. Having a LinkedIn profile can significantly increase your chances of landing an interview, sometimes by up to 70%. Recruiters actively search for candidates on LinkedIn, and I myself have received many interview opportunities through LinkedIn. If you would like me to create a video on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, please let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to add links to your GitHub profile or a project portfolio website if you have one. You can also add links to your coding profiles from websites like LeetCode, HackerRank, or CodeForces. Next is the skills section. I always advise people to put their skills section on top. Recruiters are mostly interested in your skills and spend very little time on each resume. So it's helpful to make their life easier by ensuring they can easily find your skills and not ignore your resume. List your skills such as programming languages, frameworks, and tools, and the databases that you have worked with. One thing to keep in mind is to avoid rating yourself on these skills, because we can't really tell if we are great at something unless validated by others. Due to our own biases, we often perceive ourselves to be better than what we really are. You can also include soft skills, but it's often more effective to demonstrate them in your experience section. And remember, avoid including irrelevant skills like Photoshop, Microsoft Word, or PowerPoint. These take up unnecessary space and don't add value to your resume. Next comes the work experience. This is the most important section and the heart of your resume. Start with your most recent job and work backwards. This order helps recruiter to see your most relevant and recent experiences first. For each position, include your job title, the company's name, its location, and the date of the employment. You can also include internships, especially if you have limited work experience. Make this section relevant to the job you are applying for. For example, if you previously worked as a full-stack developer but are now applying for a front-end role, highlight your front-end experience more. Whenever possible, use numbers to quantify your achievements. Follow this rule: accomplish X by implementing Y, which led to Z. This provides concrete evidence of your impact. So instead of writing, worked on optimizing reporting service, write, reduced the processing time of the reporting service by 65% by implementing caching, resulting in a 20% cost reduction. Here are a few more examples from my own resume. Reduce the cost involved in running custom report service by more than 80% by devising an automated system that identified and disabled reports with no users or empty data. Here is one more. Developed a customized batch workflow plugin for an external team to help them save up to $6 million in human labeling cost for their ML experiments. This was achieved by auto-labeling high-confidence records using our ML models. Also, make your experience section about you, not your company or your team. So don't write what your team did or what the application you worked on is about. Instead, write what you did, how you did it, and the impact it made. Start each section with an action verb. Here are a few examples. Developed, engineered, designed, implemented, optimized, built, reduced, led. Every work experience should answer these three questions. What did you do? How did you do it? And what was the result? This section should show your problem-solving skills by highlighting specific problems or the challenges you faced and how you addressed them. At the end of each work experience, you can include the programming languages, technologies, or the frameworks you use. Be as concise as possible and provide enough detail to give a clear picture of your achievements. If you are just starting your career, you may not have enough work experience. We have a different section for that, which I will discuss shortly. Next is the education section. List your highest degree first, followed by others in reverse chronological order. Here, provide the name of your institute, your major, and the date of graduation, or expected graduation date if you are still in college. You can also add relevant coursework that you completed during your college. You can add your GPA, but it's not mandatory, especially if it's not something you're proud of. And remember, just because you have done something doesn't mean you have to mention it in your resume. Cut out any irrelevant information to make space for important details. Sometimes, less is more. Now comes the project section. This section is particularly important if you are a new graduate or have limited professional experience. Describe any significant class, personal, or open source projects. Include the project title, a brief description, the technologies you used, and your specific contributions or accomplishments. If you don't have any such projects, you should consider building them to increase your chances of getting shortlisted. You can participate in hackathons, contribute to open source projects, or build personal projects. If you would like me to create a video on potential projects you can build to enhance your resume, please let me know in the comments. Include only 3 to 4 projects that had the greatest impact and from which you learned the most. And the last section, which is awards and certificates, add any recognitions or awards you received in your academic or professional life that highlight your capabilities or achievements. If you have written any research paper, articles, or books relevant to the job, list them here. Add any relevant certifications or training sessions you have attended that are applicable to the role and add value to your profile. Hobbies can be included, but they are not necessary. So don't worry if you forget to mention that you like browsing social media in your free time. I created my resume using a free tool called Overleaf. I have provided a link to the template in the description, so check it out. Feel free to use it and customize it according to your needs. Now, a good resume is your passport to your dream job, so make it count. If you have any questions or need further clarification, drop a comment below. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn, where I post regularly and provide more coding related tips. I hope you found this video helpful. I wish you all the best, and I will see you in the next one.